Hey guys, Martin here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to talk about some potential exciting stuff upcoming, which is something that we speculated about even before this banner came out, and I think that there has been enough evidence with what we've seen today to kind of lock this in as a very solid possibility. Obviously with Dokkan, nothing is ever 100%, so that's why there's a question mark in the title and the thumbnail, because I don't want to say, hey, this thing is happening, when obviously it might not actually happen. But we are going to talk about physical Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta and the fact that hopefully he will be getting an EZA during this celebration with the Gotenks Carnival LR. There's a couple of things that lead us to believe this will be the case, and of course, you know, we'll go over him and what he does now, speculate a little bit about what we'd like to see from his EZA, while going over the bits of info that we have to work with as of right now. So do go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are on the road to 30k subs, hit 29 not too long ago, so we're in that final stretch to get to 30,000 on the channel. So do subscribe if you're new around these parts. Daily Dokkan content still ongoing, and now that everything is synced, things are definitely exciting with everything coming out at the same time. But yeah, we will crack on. So first of all, before we even look at the banner, which, I mean, you can see there's Vegeta featured on the banner, with Gotenks being a Buu Saga leader, we would always be looking at potential Buu Saga characters that would be, you know, needing an EZA. And I think when it comes to LRs, especially like the yellow coin LRs, there's not many left that don't have an EZA. AGL Super Buu, but I know he's a lot newer than the Vegeta. And then as we work our way down, like, basically all of these characters have EZAs already or are just very new. So Angel Vegeta is kind of the only LR. Obviously there's a bunch of TURs that could still be a possibility, but in terms of LRs, the Angel Vegeta is basically the only one that doesn't have an EZA yet. And so he's featured on the banner on both versions, because obviously global, despite what seemed to be the case yesterday, someone mentioned in a comment on my 55% showcase that I should have apologized for spreading misinformation yesterday. So yeah, it was reported by multiple sources that it looked like Jiren and Gotenks were going to be on two separate banners, but they turned out to be on the same banner for global, which is a massive W. Although, to be fair, shout out to all those poor people that summoned for Gotenks, got a Goku Black Rift or a Zeno, and then got Jiren instead of Gotenks. But yeah, them both being on the same banner is a W. But even on the JP version of the banner, you can see Angel Vegeta is a featured LR. So with everything being released at the same time now, he would obviously need to be featured on both the banners if it meant he was going to be getting an EZA. We, of course, have the Tech Goten on here as well, featured on both banners. His EZA, like sticker details and everything, were found in the files, so he is most likely getting his EZA at some point during the celebration as well, which works really nicely because he is a Gifted Warriors support unit, which I believe Vegeta is on as well, so he'll make a nice addition to that Gotenks Majin Buu Saga team, as long as he is actually good, right, with his EZA. So there's the first thing, right? He's featured on the banner. We've seen this a lot with recent banners. Units like STR Bojack and Tech Beerus being featured on these banners because they are going to get an EZA, right? And, you know, he's a Majin Buu Saga character, so you could argue that that's why he's featured on the banner and it doesn't mean anything else. But with all the other stuff that we have to put together, I think it should be, hopefully, a clear sign, because everyone else on the banner, if you look at the featured list here for global, Tech Super Buu and Gotenks came out for Golden Week, so obviously they're way too new. Goten we already know about. Every other featured SSR has an EZA. So every unit on this banner that is an SSR, obviously some of them awaken into LRs, but every unit that is an SSR already has an EZA or only came out this year. Apart from Goten, who, again, we already know about from the files, right? So that seems very, very likely. But the thing that, to me, was kind of like the final nail in the coffin that, oh, yeah, this guy is going to get an EZA during this celebration. I'm like 99% sure now, because, again, never be 100% sure on anything with Dokkan. But we have the blue zone, the blue stone available again now, where you can buy certain stone packs and they will come with a blue stone, which can be traded in for characters. And you can see here, you've got two different options, because I think you can buy the pack twice, right? So you can get two blue stones. For two blue stones, you can get one of these LRs. And for 1 blue stone, you can get one of these TURs, including a Kai, if you really don't want anyone else. Now, the thing is, if you take a look at the list, as soon as I saw this guy here, I mean, look at every other single character on this list that you can get with 2 blue coins. Every single character on this list, apart from physical Angel Vegeta, is an LR that already has an EZA. So he is the odd one out. He is the only LR on this list that doesn't have an EZA. So why would he be worth the same value? Why is he 2 blue stones when, like, the 4 characters next to him in the top row are still arguably 4 of the top? I mean, these guys all are still in my top 10 LRs list. And then you've got Angel Vegeta, who is literally, I mean, at this point, let's be honest, if we're talking about difficult content, without his EZA, he's unrunnable, right? So how is he costing the same as these guys? The Blue Fusions, Blue Kaioken and Blue Evolution, like Vegito and Bootanks. I mean, the bottom row, obviously, without their current buffs, these last 4, like, obviously the bottom row aren't as good. But yeah, this guy being the only LR that's available for 2 blue stones that doesn't have an EZA. None of the other random yellow coin LRs are here. And there's no, you know, they didn't put a different Majin Buu Saga LR that maybe had an EZA already in there instead. He's there, front and center, top row. So I would say this pretty much like soft confirms that he's getting an EZA. Again, we can never say never with Dokkan. I would be incredibly surprised if he doesn't get an EZA at some point. It's featured on the banner, available with the blue stones, along with the other LRs that all have EZAs. Like, if there was even a single other LR on this list that you could get with the coins that didn't have an EZA, then maybe I would be like, okay, well, maybe this doesn't mean as much as we think. But he is literally the only one. So I think it's very clear that he is going to be getting an EZA. Now, if we take a look at his kit, he is a Worthy Rivals lead. He also leads Super Physical. I can't remember what they do with the yellow coin EZAs nowadays. Is his leader skill going to go up to, is it 160 or does it go up to 170? It's Worthy Rivals. It gives 4 key, which is nice. Super Physical, I think, will it go up to like 120? The leader skill is not really important for yellow coin LRs anyway, especially when you consider how crazy the Buu Saga team is at the moment with all these buffs. So if we look at what he does, one of the big, I think, letdowns for him in terms of how he aged, obviously he only raises defense on his 12 key super. So obviously some way for him to get an additional super in his kit would definitely be nice, but the ideal thing, of course, is to add defense raising to his 18 key. And of course he has a unit super attack, which is his 18 key super, and then he does a unit super with Goku if you have a Buu Saga ally whose name includes Goku. And then if we take a look down as well at his kit, we obviously have the 3 key extra when there's an ally in the same turn or enemy whose name includes Goku, and then another 3 key when there's a Majin Buu Saga ally whose name includes Goku. So he'll be getting 6 key, and then his active skill can be activated when there's a Buu Saga ally whose name includes Goku. So he has a lot of Buu Saga Goku tied to his kit, which was an issue when he released a little bit, I guess. I mean, obviously a new Goku, I think, had just recently come out. Obviously you had the Goku and Vegeta that fused into Vegito. Of course, once they fused, you no longer had a unit whose name included Goku in the rotation. However, when we take a look at the Buu Saga as it is now, with all the buffs, I mean, obviously we still have the Goku and Vegeta with their EZA. We have the physical duo from the 8th anniversary. They've started to age out a little bit now. But the big thing is we have AGL Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who's still a top tier TUR. I mean, I still had him at number 1 on my TUR list the last time, which I know a lot of people weren't happy about, but even so. He's on the team. AGL Dragon Fist Goku, obviously still very useful, but of course they've just added some characters to the Buu Saga, and the wiki doesn't actually show the updated version. That's why I missed him off when I made my team building guide for the EZA, but the STR Dragon Fist Goku is on the team as well. And then of course we have this Int Angel Super Saiyan 2 Goku, who transforms into Super Saiyan 3, who just got his EZA. So we have 3 like current meta relevant Majin Buu Saga Gokus on the team who are still like very worthwhile options. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Goku, his EZA, like the Vegeta is definitely a lot better, but the Angel Goku is still one of the best TURs, and the STR Dragon Fist Goku I think is still really good as well. So either of those guys will be fine for proccing his passive, and then obviously the Int Angel Goku will work as well. In terms of other Majin Buu Saga Gokus, TUR wise, probably not looking at any of these guys too much. The free-to-play Super Saiyan 3 Goku that got his EZA, he was like okay for a free-to-play EZA when it came out, but probably aren't running him in difficult content at the moment. And then a bunch of these other Gokus are all a bit outdated. So it's mainly the Angel Super Saiyan 3. You could get away with the AGL Dragon Fist, or obviously there's the STR Dragon Fist. There's the Int one that just got his EZA. And then, of course, you know, Int, Goku, and Vegeta that are currently being buffed before the anniversary. Once they fuse into Vegito, again, like the STR one, you would then lose that unit whose name includes Goku on the rotation, but a lot of the time you don't get to see theirs anyway, because it's like turn 6 and onwards and below 50% HP. So a couple of the times that we've run them recently in like challenge runs and stuff like that, we haven't even got the fusion with them regardless. So there's quite a few decent options, and obviously Buu Gotenks is now a new 200% leader for Majin Buu Saga. So this guy going to work very, very nicely on those teams. So definitely want to see his super attack get some defense raise, the 18 key. I think they could, you know, give the 12 key, just raise attack and defense, make the ultra super. You could go for like raise attack and defense again or something, and then make the unit super greatly raise attack and defense, because his unit super does greatly raise attack already. So give him like normal attack raise on both attack and defense raise on both his 12 key and his 18, but then make the unit super greatly raise for both. That would obviously be very, very good. And then he basically just gets start of turn some stats. Then he gets an additional attack and defense 4% each time key rises by 1 up to 70%. So it's basically, if you're getting up to a certain amount of key, that's how he gets the full buff. So obviously this number would hopefully be increased as well. And of course, when he has a Goku on the rotation, he's getting this extra key. So that's already giving him that buff. Maybe if they threw some stats into that as well. The other thing that could make his passive really, really interesting is if they throw some other abilities in here as well. Like if you have a Buu Saga ally whose name includes Goku, rather than getting 3 key, he gets, well, he'd get 3 key as well, but rather than just getting 3 key, he could have like guard, which would obviously, that would be like the ideal scenario, right? Or even if they just give him some extra percentage to stats. But obviously the big thing is if he has any way to do some kind of additional super, because then with a certain amount of additional in the hidden potential, you get that chance where he's going to end up doing like 3 supers in one turn. And then if he's raising defense on each of those super attacks, maybe he has got some sort of guard or damage reduction ability in his passive, even if it is restricted in some way, that could leave him in a really good spot, even if he ends up as kind of like a floater for the team, or if he's good enough to be on main rotation. And then of course his active skill is the "you are number one" thing. Key 1, attack 59% and defense 78% for 1 turn. Now with active skills, they can't change the condition or the effect, right? Because he has some weird thing where it changes like the pre-EZA version as well, I believe is the explanation, even though I don't see why that really matters. Because if you have the unit, you're going to EZA them surely, right? So why does it matter that the unit gets their active skill technically updated like for free with the non-EZA? I don't really understand why that would be a huge issue. But this could obviously be very, very good if all these stats are tuned up in his passive. Even though it's only one, just 1 key is so random. But yeah, 59% attack, 78% defense. He has the potential, obviously, if they are going to give him some sort of guard or damage reduction or something in his passive, whether it's restricted or not, that would mean that on the active skill turn, he could then end up being incredibly tanky, which would obviously be very, very good. So this guy has a ton of potential. He's got a decent link set. His link set's not crazy. Obviously linking up with other Vegetas he's quite good, but linking up with some of the Super Saiyan 3 Gokus we've talked about already, he doesn't have over in a flash. So that could potentially be a bit of an issue, but he's getting extra key in his passive. There's decent supports on the team, and then obviously he's on some teams like All Out Struggle, Time Limit, Mastered Evolution. He is not on Final Trump card, so obviously he doesn't help out with the Gotenks passive, but Dragon Fist Goku is, who you would probably be running if you have him. So I think this guy will fit really, really nicely into this new build of the Buu Saga team, as long as he does actually get the solid EZA. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Obviously he's an LR, so it would be a 10-stage EZA, which is definitely much preferable to the 30-stage ones. Once we do find out the details, I will of course do a video to let you guys know. do a team building guide as well once it's the details are available. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of Angel Super Saiyan 2 Physical Vegeta. Do you think he's going to EZA? Do you think it's pretty locked in? I think it would be very weird for him to be featured on the banner on that 2 blue stone like list and then not get an EZA. I think that would be very strange. But at the end of the day, you never know. This is Dokkan, but I guess we will have to wait and see. So let me know all your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. Let me know what you would like him to do. If you had any input on his EZA, what would it be? Let me know in the comments. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.